Hey everyone! Ben just ran out of the room because he forgot his pipe for playing Rosa, Beatrice I mean.
My pipe!
So, now that he's back, welcome back to Umineko.
Anyway, I'm pretty sure this is about the same, but I'll take this until we can confirm.
Let's do that.
That seems like a good policy.
That does seem like a good policy. You do everything unless it is me.
Oh my god. Every year, the relatives visiting Rokenjima, good start, would let out a sigh of admiration at the rose garden that first greeted them. They would stop there to chat about the rose's beauty and how well they were blooming that year.
Oh god, are we about to have to compare the two rose garden scenes? I might-
Hold on. In the midst of all this, there was a single unhealthy rose, and Maria became overwhelmed with dejection at its condition. But George used his quick wits, and, saying that everything would be fine if they took care of this poor thing, marked it with a candy wrapper and immediately restored Maria's good mood. Then Battler, with whom she'd been getting along well since that morning, started talking about Halloween. This was such a favourite topic of Maria's that she began playing around energetically again. To Maria, that marshmallow jack-o'-lantern candy bought by her mother was probably the greatest sort of treasure. They seemed to have bought several, and she demanded a trick or treat from every person she met, giving them candy instead of the other way around.
I wonder why Maria likes Halloween so much. Always figured it was a pretty unfamiliar event for the Japanese. Well, it's a kid's favorite, it's a kid's festival where they get to parade around in costumes, right? It can be fun to play around in an outfit that's different from usual.
I think there's a slightly deeper cause behind it. After all, she is the witch, Maria-chan.
Come to think of it, when we were at the airport, didn't Maria say that if she was gonna wear a costume, it'd be a witch? Does she like witches?
Nah, not really.
Yes, she loves them so much that it becomes a problem.
She looks so tired.
Hey, it's not so bad. You expect kids at that age to love fantastical stuff like that. If it was just a heroine or some TV anime, at least it'd be cute.
Judging by Rose's appearance, she wasn't very happy about her daughter's love for witches as a mother. Their cousins other than Battler seemed to realize this, and they shrugged, wearing stiff smiles.
See, the thing that's really messed up about that is, there was that whole thing where it's like, Maria, no, it's fine, I'm back, I was just possessed by the mean witch.
Oh, yeah.
And then Maria still apparently loves witches.
Yeah, there was that thing where she was like, oh, Rosa, you were possessed by the bad witch, but now you're the good mother again.
Yeah, that was really weird.
Good witch? Yeah, no, it's confusing.
So you're arguing that because she likes witches, she also likes Halloween? If we don't know, why don't we just ask her? Hey Maria, how are Halloween and witches related?
As Battler asked that, George and Jessica let us have as if they were trying to stop him, but too late. Maria might have been waiting for just that question. After fucking that smile, after beaming for an instant, her expression turned a little mean as to say, you're basically clueless, aren't you? It was the face of a hobbyist who's been ticked off by an outsider saying something stupid about their favorite subject. What? Who?
This is a new track.
Oh shit, I know this track. Oh man, okay. To the Celts, the changing strength of the sun over the course of a year signified its birth, its growing up period, its aging and death, and then its revival.
I get it. In spring, the weak warm starts to grow up and gets hot, and then it gradually gets weaker and worn out. Sort of makes sense to think of the sun as living out an entire life.
Yes. So, they thought that at the end of October the sun died, was laid to rest in the land of the dead, and was then revived at the winter solstice.
What?
And the name they gave to the last day of their year, when the sun ended its 1 year lifespan and died, was Samhain, and they celebrated then. I'm getting chills right now, I'm sorry, this track. Oh! Please continue. What, are you thinking about that?
I'm thinking about something mildly unrelated to the playthrough, but I think you know exactly what it is right now, and I'm a little upset with you.
What are you talking about? I have no comment. It's an interesting idea, to think that the sun is revived on the day of the winter solstice, when the daylight hours start to grow longer again. It's a case that makes it clear how much the ancients regarded the sun as sacred.
I see. So, what does that have to do with witches?
It seemed... Oh, there you go.
It seemed my casual urging forward had slightly infuriated Maria. She glared at me with eyes that told me to shut up while she explained. Maria seemed to be having a blast as she talked, so I decided to not interrupt.
In the interval between October and November, life and death become the closest they ever will. The Celts believed that during this time, the world of the living grew closer to the world of the dead and otherworldly beings, and many of those living in the world would come to visit. It was like the Bon Festival in Japan. Hehehehe.
the time, people believed the souls returning to the physical world would go into people's houses or possess people and do bad things. So in order to avoid harm, they performed rituals. One of those was to imitate creepy monsters and scare the souls back, which was apparently a way to avoid being possessed. That part became a festival, which turned into a costume parade. You really know a lot, don't you, Maria?
Ain't it the truth? Even I never knew Halloween had such a history. But where did that whole trick-or-treat thing come from?
Her knowledge was so extensive that the adults had suddenly started listening in too. Maria, who was normally treated like the youngest all the time, puffed out her chest with pride. Saying that this was just a kid's discussion, Rosa suggested the adults go on ahead and set their luggage down in the guest house, but nobody else agreed to go with her, and she let out a heavy sigh.
Ew. Trick-or-treat is just for fun. It has nothing to do with what was originally a Celtic ceremony. It was created later when Christian customs were mixed in. However, I think it's right for Halloween to be that way.
According to Maria, the souls of the dead weren't the only ones who visited from the non-human world. They're also spirits with intimate connections to people's everyday lives. Humans could receive favors from those spirits, so they'd manage to gain magnificent blessings, as well as a year's worth of good crops. Or gold!
So basically, Halloween was also a bit of a harvest festival.
I get it. Now that you mention it, I guess October is a turning point in all kinds of ways, including with the seasons. Sort of the opposite of April in Japan. Yeah, that might be a good place to mark it.
Ooh! And also, the witches hold a witch assembly then, called a Sabbath. The witches thank the spirits that give out blessings of prosperity and reward them. Halloween costumes imitate the guests that come from the other side. In other words, you might say giving out candy is a way to show gratitude for the yearly harvest. Ooh! Just like George Onichan says.
So Halloween's a time when those two worlds intermingle. In other words, it's the most important chance for witches to intermingle with guests from that world. Is that what you're trying to say?
Ooh! Just like Butler says. And you know what? You know what?
That's creepy wind.
October is when the power of witches and demons is at its most vigorous and prosperous. I'm sure Beatrice will come. And then we'll eat marshmallow candies together, and she'll bring me to the Golden Land with her. We'll sing magical songs together, learn magic spells together, learn how to draw magic circles together. And then we'll learn the secrets of runes, and I'll become a great witch really, really quickly. We're just the best.
Just the best.
Can't wait for Beatrice to get here.
I don't know who's talking, right? I'm assuming Ava.
Yeah.
My, isn't that wonderful? It's best for kids to have dreams. By the way, Rosa, how old will Maria be this year again?
Fuck.
Maria, that's enough of that.
Don't worry about it, Rosa-san. It's a dream all girls have at one time or another.
Thank you very much. But Maria has already graduated from that age. Hey, I'm telling you to stop. Rosa scolded Maria, trying to shut her up before her cheery discussion about black magic earned her the snickers of the relatives. I think it's a bit late.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds pretty detailed and impressive. By the way, who was Beatrice again? I know I've heard that name somewhere before.
Oh, why would you say that?
Like in that discussion you've been having with her?
This is true. She mentioned it at least once.
No, I mean that you've been having with Beatrice.
Oh, yeah. This is true.
Battler had been gone for 6 years and had completely forgotten about the legend of the Rakenjima witch. However, when he said he didn't know Beatrice's name, Maria's once bright mood soured in an instant. Oh, shit. Fade to black. When he saw that, Battler immediately remembered that it was the name of the witch of the island, but the damage had been done.
Rip.
Until Maria's mood improved, she went on about many mysterious and fabulous episodes regarding the Golden Witch, including this one where 18 people died. It was pretty
about
great.
this witch and these stakes of purgatory.
Yeah.
It's all very strange.
That's enough, Maria. Thank you, Battler-kun, for letting her chat with you. Cannon-kun, don't you have work to do? What? Cannon's here? Please leave now. Go to sign. It looks like everyone wants to set down their bags for the time being. Sorry, but could you guide everyone to the guest house?
Yeah, because last time he was, like, moving the fertilizer, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And Goda meted them at the docks.
This is you.
Certainly. Well then, everyone allow me to guide you. Then, if you'll excuse me. Goda led the relatives and they began to head towards the guest house. They were eager to set down their luggage and take a breather, so they didn't realize that Rosa and Maria weren't coming with them. Oh god. After watching them leave towards the guest house, Rosa's face changed suddenly. She let go with the hand that had been gripping Maria this whole time. there was a bright red mark there, making it clear how much excessive force she had been using on Maria's
But
slender
she
arms.
has sleeves on.
What? Get out of here. That hand then slapped against Maria's head, pinched her left ear, and lifted.
Even though I'm always telling you not to talk about witches and doing so with the thunderstorm mysteriously rolling in behind me, haven't I always said that that was our promise together?
Mama, ouch, Mama, ouch, 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 ouch.
You really do like blabbering on about Halloween all the time, don't you? A festival for witches? Who cares about the Celts' black magic and all that idiotic trash? You're 9 years old. 9. Because of that scene you made in the train, I went to all the trouble of making us stop and buying you those disgusting monster marshmallows that look like they've fluorescent paints on them. I went out of my way to buy it, even though it made us late. How much more will you embarrass me before you're satisfied?
As Rosa cursed, she twisted Maria's ear up, almost as though she was about to tear it off. An expression of anguish spread across Maria's face while she frantically stood on her tiptoes, trying to soften the pain in that ear. Rosa suddenly grabbed the candy that Maria had been holding.
Oh!
She threw it on the ground and stepped on it over and over. To Maria, it was supposed to be proof of a memory of a brief span of time when her mother had bought something fun for her. But now, that same mother was grinding it into the ground right in front of her. It was as though a brand had been pushed into Maria's eyes, leaving a mark that could never be erased.
What's the deal with this disgusting candy? Disgusting, disgusting. It's because you're like that. It's all because you're like that. Disgusting, disgusting, disgusting.
As she said that, she struck Maria's head over and over again with her palm. She didn't hit Maria's face, because the red swelling would stand out. Maria closed her eyes tightly, patiently bearing her mother's violence. No, that wasn't quite it. Come back, Mama. Come back, Mama. Save me, Mama. Defeat the bad witch. She kept bearing Rosa's assault, muttering that over and over.
Didn't I tell you to stop talking about witches? Why you...
Rosa, tired from hitting her daughter, breathed so hard her shoulders shook. Maria grasped her hands together, withstanding it, hoping her mother would return soon. Mama, Mama! Come back quickly! Save me, Mama! Beat the bad witch!
Fine, just stay there like that forever. Just stand there mumbling about witches and Halloween forever.
After hurling those words at Maria, Rosa left in the direction of the guest house, leaving Maria behind. Maria, forgetting even that it was okay to cry, kept staring down at the jack-o'-lantern candy that had been trampled beyond recognition.
Man, Rosa's just my favorite character.
I know, right? She's the best mom.
Oh, Rosa. Where were you? I'm sorry. The roses were so wonderful, I just
Come on, Rosa.
beat my child.
Rosa, quit beating your child. Set your luggage down quickly and come with us. We're gonna go say hi to Nikki. What happened to Maria-chan? Is she still by the flower beds?
Yes. It seems she found a rose she likes and insisted that she'd take care of it, refusing to listen. I decided to let her do what she wants for a while.
We sometimes forget that girls have their own little world. Sometimes we have to respect that, right?
Damn, Kyrie's on board.
Kyrie's great.
That's right. Thanks for your concern, Kyrie-san. Goda-san, where is our room?
I will guide you this way. Allow me to hold your luggage.
I'll be fine. I can carry it myself, thank you. Stairs.
Corridor. Rosa went into her room, guided by Goda.
Which also seems to be the same room that Cousins had.
It's true. Oh. She then closed the door somewhat violently and threw her luggage on top of the bed.
Same bed.
She's so done.
Dot. Dot. Dot.
I mean, it was supposed to be a hotel, right? So all the rooms would probably be very similar.
That is true. That is very fair.
She got down on her knees in front of the bed, burying her face in it. For a while, Rosa made as if to shred the sheets with her fingernails, sobbing constantly. Maria-sama, are you alright? Cannon appeared from behind a thicket after watching Rosa leave. I'm fine. Maria gave a creepy laugh, but to Cannon, who had seen the whole thing, it looked like she was enduring as best she could. She's a horrible person. I can't believe she's a mother. It can't be helped. You can't expect anything better than that to enter a container of that level. I'm just fine. Cannon got down on his knees and picked up the trampled candy. It was tragic just looking at it. He thought about dusting it off and returning it to her, but really couldn't do so with it in that condition. Just as he was wondering what to do, he met Maria's gaze. No, that wasn't quite right. Maria was looking at the candy Cannon had picked up. Right now, Maria's heart was surely the same as the candy that had been trampled into a pulp. Cannon realized this, but didn't know what he should do. That's right. I'll exchange it for the one I received earlier. Cannon remembered that a similar candy he'd received from Maria was in his pocket. Maria stuck out her hand. Cannon thought she was trying to take it, so he held out the candy, but Maria didn't try to grasp it. Then Cannon realized she was saying, "Give it back." No matter how tragic and trampled it was, this candy was Maria's. Her mother had bought it for her. No matter how tragic, it had to be this candy and no other. If only it were intact enough that it could be fixed by dusting it off. Cannon hung his head. Dusting it off is the most I can do. I'm sorry. Cannon held out the miserable-looking candy Maria wanted. She took it and spoke. Thank you. A human can't do anything except dust it off, but a witch could restore it to how it once was. It would be easy for Beatrice. Maria-sama, you know about Beatrice-sama? Except for Battler, there was no way anyone related to the Ashumia family could have failed to know Beatrice's name. But just now, Maria had bragged about Beatrice to Battler. She had spoken almost as though she was meeting with Beatrice regularly. Cannon felt a sharp pain inside his left hand, which was curled into a fist. In the past, a witch called Beatrice had appeared to tempt him and Shannon. He'd always tried to think of it as a bad dream. However, Shannon insisted that it definitely was a real witch. And then, this summer, the shrine to the local Shinto god was hit by lightning, disappearing without a trace over the span of a single night. He knew about Shannon breaking that mirror, and he remembered that, as the witch departed, she said she'd eventually be revived. And now, this girl who believed absolutely in Beatrice spoke as though she'd met Beatrice herself. Cannon couldn't suppress a vague sense of foreboding welling up in his heart. For a while, Maria remained silent, as though she could see into Cannon's heart.
As though.
Yeah, almost as though she was waiting for a memory of Beatrice to be revived. And then she spoke, as though it was fact. Hee. You know, I'm friends with Beatrice. I'm even gonna meet her today and play. Hee. We're going to play? Yeah. Of course we'll play. We're gonna study magic together. The face of that witch, whom Cannon had tried to pretend was a bad dream, began to slowly creep into the back of his mind. Oh boy. Father says he's extremely busy with his research. Unfortunately, it seems he'll be unable to come down. Come on. We put this conference in our schedules and come all the way out to Okenshima during this crazy busy fall season. You think Dad could at least be a bit more sociable?
Yeah, seriously, Dr. Nanjo. Is it really his research and his mood that are the problem? He isn't already bedridden, unable to get up, right?
Well, I wonder. There's not much I can say. Nanjo glanced at Natsu. It seemed he thought it wasn't his place to speak without first getting Natsu's approval. Father's state of health is better than ever. It would be exceedingly rude to call him bedridden.
But he only has 3 months left to live, right? Normally, wouldn't you expect him to be wasted away, unable to get out of bed? Isn't that right, Dr. Nanjo?
For a normal patient, that would probably be the case, but Kinzo-san has extraordinary willpower. And perhaps that willpower has frightened even the Reaper away. Well, if he's that energetic, then I guess we have little to worry about for the near future, right? Though if he's got that much spunk, I wish he'd at least come and greet us. Isn't the whole point of this family conference to come and see Dad's face? I'm not even sure why we came now.
Don't say that. If you were here, you'd complain the whole time about being unable to relax. Shouldn't we celebrate the fact that all of us siblings have gathered this year to spend some time alone? We didn't get to see him at last year's family conference either, right? Can't you understand why his blood children might want to see him after 2 years?
If there's anything you'd like to say in greeting, I will tell him for you. Or, Ava-san, is there something you'd like to discuss with Father beyond merely greeting him?
Come on, what are you talking about? Sheesh.
Give it a rest, Ava. Natsumi-san, forgive us. Ava's just worried about Father's condition as his daughter. Please try to understand how she feels.
Indeed. Look how quickly you've grown to respect Father now that you know how much longer he has to live. Yes, I believe I do understand why you want to see him so much. What are you trying to say?
Quit it, Aneki. Why don't we pray that his mood will improve by dinner? Anyway, we've only just arrived. For now, we're only here for a casual greeting. And we could even hold the family conference without Dad. In fact, there's a few things we siblings shouldn't bring to him until we've formed a unified opinion. Isn't that right, Hideyoshi-san? Yep, just as Rudolph-kun says. This is the only time of year we can all meet in person. We've got to take this valuable time seriously and be frank with each other. Even though the tea hadn't yet arrived, they were very determined. But before that, perhaps we can spare the time to enjoy some black tea at our leisure, surrounded by the wonderful furnishings of the parlor. Carrie's words seemed to contain a subtle admonition directed at everyone gathered there. They all understood, and as they cleared their throats and straightened their neckties, the atmosphere in the room returned to normal for a time.
Excuse me, I've brought some tea.
Hey, Shannon-chan, you just keep getting prettier and prettier. Shannon entered the parlor, pushing the serving cart. Everyone decided to relax and enjoy some black tea for the time being. A wonderful aroma began to spread throughout the room. As far as anyone could see, the strained atmosphere from before Shannon's arrival seemed like a lie. Of course, Shannon, who was setting out the tea, probably didn't even notice. Carrie seemed to laugh faintly at how adult everyone was suddenly acting. Rudolph didn't like it when Carrie took the initiative and spoke at the family conference. It was his worthless male pride. He probably didn't want to look like a weak man who took advice from his wife. Damn. She understood that and did her best to refrain from saying any more than was necessary. So she separated herself from the circle of siblings who only superficially appeared to be enjoying some time together alone and casually drank her tea near the window. Oh, Rosa-san. I thought you siblings were enjoying some alone time.
You must be joking.
Sorry, don't take it the wrong way. I'm just a little exasperated by my husband. Apparently Rosa hadn't been able to keep up with that on-the-surface friendliness. They'd come here to fight bloodily and dirtily, each trying to grab a part of the inheritance for themselves. She probably didn't like suddenly pretending that they were all chummy. Or maybe she was still too immature for that. It looks like the wind started blowing hard out there. The plants are all shaking so much.
The typhoon's probably gotten pretty close already. I wonder if we'll see a lot of this rain tonight.
Maria-chan really has grown a lot this past year.
Does it look that way? She still can't even fold her own clothing yet.
No, it's true. It's because she had such an affectionate mother.
Oh!
She'll go into a girl with a rich heart.
Oh boy, Kyrie.
Rosa fell silent. Maybe she was unsure as to what Kyrie meant by that.
Maybe Kyrie knows everything. I am a failure as a mother. Children don't get to choose their parents. That poor girl.
Doesn't that go both ways? A parent can't choose what kind of child they have either. Rosa bit her lower lip. This isn't a matter of assigning blame. Isn't it enough that you take your time and watch over her as she grows, conscious of the fact that you'll be living together? You spend every day with Maria-chan, so you probably don't notice the small changes, but the rest of us, who haven't seen her for a year, see clearly how much she's grown.
If you really mean that, thank you very much. Then if you'll excuse me, if there's anything you desire, please call for it at any time.
Shannon Chan bowed politely and left the room. I was expecting the honorific and it didn't come. I'm sorry.
You monster.
As Hideyoshi and Rudolph, who had a soft spot for women, watched her go, the atmosphere in the room began to revert back to what it had been right before Shannon's visit. They were looking at her. Look.
Looking at that cute little booty.
Rudolph and Hideyoshi need to calm yourselves down.
That's
You're married.
right.
You're married.
That's that they are.
God damn it.
If Father can't come down, well, that does still leave us with certain things we can discuss, right, Rudolph?
Yeah, that's right. We didn't come all the way out here just to drink some dusty tea, right?
Very well. What is this matter that you're clearly so eager to discuss?
My. Those people really are determined. They certainly got started quick.
I need to join in too. If I don't assert myself, those people will quickly forget that there are 4 siblings.
Sounds like you've got it pretty tough yourself. Maybe I spoke too harshly. Forgive me.
No, I don't mind. I'm the one who should be apologizing. As a pair of mothers with daughters, we should talk more often. Every single time we meet, we end up talking about something shady.
You can blame the atmosphere in this mansion for that. Once you breathe in this air, everyone gets so strained. Just once, I'd like to have a nice, long cup of tea with you when we aren't attending a family conference, yeah?
Once you breathe in this air, everyone gets so strained. I understand what this is saying.
Mm-hmm.
But listen.
Okay.
Listen.
You got a theory?
Clearly, if we're assuming that there ain't magic involved.
Okay. Are we? Are we assuming that? Okay, sure.
The emphasis on the word if. At this point, I'm trying to work within the assumption that there is no magic.
Sure. Good luck.
Because otherwise, if there is magic, then we don't know anything until we get rules and just fuck it. Just fuck it, you know?
Uh-huh.
But once you breathe in this air, everyone gets so strained. Clearly,
Yes.
not so subtle reference at the fact that there's some hallucinogenic bullshit going on this island.
I guess I can neither confirm or deny the existence of hallucinogenic
Have you seen the movie Men Who Stare at Goats?
I haven't actually, no.
Alright, everyone go watch Men Who Stare at Goats.
Go watch that and then come back, pause the video, come back in a couple hours.
Finish watching the video, go watch the movie, and then come back, and you'll understand, first of all, how amazing that movie is, and second of all, psychedelic bullshit.
Alright.
Alrighty?
Sure. I mean, that's certainly a theory that you can possess. I can neither confirm nor deny that it is the truth. You know?
I just wanted to point out that this was my observation in the sentence. I don't think it means anything significant enough yet, but I just wanted to point it out.
Sure thing. Where was I? When we aren't attending family conference, there's a wonderful coffee shop in Ginza that's a favorite of mine. Please let me invite you sometime soon.
Alright, well, Kyrie likes coffee, so therefore, not Beatrice.
She doesn't like tea.
Thank you, Kyrie-san. That sounds great.
Why can't you like coffee and tea?
Well, I like coffee and tea, but it... Listen, let's go...
What is happening?
Let's go...
What is happening? Why are we...
She likes black tea and ice cream.
And ice cream.
There's no coffee.
So we gotta look for people who like ice cream.
That's
what
right.
You're telling me. That's how we find the killer.
That is correct. But the thing we have to be... The thing we have to be very clear about, right? Is... that...
What a dress. It's so good.
Let's look at that in the new images.
Her dress is so good. I love it.
It's so much better in the old one.
Yeah.
So over the top.
I love it.
But
I love how it like blends with the background too, in a way.
It's almost like it's based off a dress or something.
Look, I love it. I love it so much.
But, you see, the fact is we have 2 of her likes, black tea and ice cream. If it was black tea, coffee, and ice cream, then maybe we'd be talking.
Then we know it was Kyrie. Nailed it.
Oh no.
Oh, there's
I know.
Oh no. The sky's gotten dark pretty fast. I can almost believe the people in this room made the weather worse. There's already thunder. Oh, was that one there?
Huh?
There really were small splashes of rain on the glass of the parlor window. The weather seemed to have worsened faster than expected. Just then, a silent thunderbolt struck inside Rose's head and she remembered that her beloved child was out in the rose garden. A normal girl would try to go inside if the weather got bad, but Maria was different. She would sometimes get stubborn and refuse to move if rain or even spears fell from the sky. There's those spears again. That's right.
Spears.
I told that child to just stay there doing that forever, didn't I?
Now, I think we've had this discussion before, but is raining spears like the equivalent in Japan to raining cats and dogs?
Basically, it's not, there's no, at least as far as I can recall, there is no extreme hidden symbolism in the term raining spears. I think we're fine.
Yeah, it's just in the context of a murder mystery novel
and
mentioning any kind of weapon.
Said it a lot. I think it's fine though. I think you need to let this one go.
I can't let it go, but I'm aware at least. Oh no! Maria!
Everyone looked back at Rosa when she let out a small scream.
Hadn't she been sleeping in this part of the story in the original
It's true.
one?
In the last one, she got tired and left and they all moved from the parlor to a different room, to the dining hall.
That's right.
And then she woke up when Genji was putting like a rug on her or something.
What? What is it? I'm sorry, I'm going outside for a second. I'll be right back.
What the? Seriously, what's going on with her? Don't worry, she'll be back soon. More importantly, shouldn't we begin? Our main topic.
That's right. We can keep talking about that without Rosa.
Damn!
Let's return to our discussion.
It's almost like she was waiting for Rosa to leave before, like, getting back into it. Whoa! I didn't
Rosa
even need
dashed
to
from
read
the
that.
entrance hall in something garden.
You're the worst. When she
Right.
opened the door,
Here it is.
go back. Rosa dashed from the entrance hall into the rose garden. Trigger happy. When she opened the door, the wind that hit her was too strong to be called a light breeze, and told her that the typhoon was approaching faster than she'd thought. Just as Carrie had said, the wind was mixed in with small droplets of rain. There was also a low rumble of thunder. It could start raining any time. Rosa headed for the rose garden. She headed for the place where she had scolded Maria a short while ago. It was almost lunchtime. The children had been told to come to the mansion around lunchtime, so they were probably in the guest house waiting to be called. Even if Maria didn't come to them, they would surely think I took her to the mansion with me and wouldn't worry much. After all, she had been with her mother, so there shouldn't have been any reason to worry. I was here, and I abandoned my daughter to the worsening weather.
Now, in the chapter, the episode 1 version of this,
Yes?
the cousins...
I think they found her first. Or it was about...
no, but-
No, they met up, didn't they? And then they
Did
were
they
looking.
see Rosa scolding Maria? Because I thought that was
yes.
later.
They did see Maria being scolded by Rosa earlier, I believe. Oh, man, I'm
Right.
trying to remember now where it was in the timeline. Or was it like this scene here? No, it was definitely before this. That she was like, when Battle was like, oh, you should help. And then George's like, no, you should definitely not help. I think that was before this scene. I'm pretty sure. We're gonna have to check the tapes on that.
Yeah, I mean, there was only one day before people started dying, so the time frame is a bit short.
This is true.
Maria, are you there? If you're there, answer me.
Yeah.
I was right. She was still standing stock still, exactly the same way she had been, in the place where I'd scolded her. Held in her hand was the candy that I'd given her, and then stepped on and crushed. With that gripped in her hand, she stood there as powerful winds whipped her hair about, tormenting her. I'm sorry, I am so sorry. Sorry, Maria. Forgive Mama.
Oh, Mama, welcome back. I waited a long time for you to come back. The scary witch pinched me, but I stayed strong, waiting for Mum to come back without crying.
Maria, forgive your Mama. Forgive your Mama.
You didn't do anything wrong. You were just possessed by a bad witch again. So I'm fine. I really like you, Mama. I love you.
I'm sorry. Please forgive your Mama for losing to the bad witch.
Rosa buried her face in Maria's small chest, crying and begging forgiveness. And once again those tears dripped down after who knows how many times. If only the brilliant sun had been shining on the two of them, all of their cares would have been evaporated, and it might have felt like they could begin anew. However, what surrounded the two of them was the worsening weather. Sadly, there were only fierce winds with occasional thunder. The sound of Maria sniffling brought Rosa to her senses. If Maria stood exposed to the wind for too long, she'd probably catch a cold.
Okay, Maria. It's almost time for lunch. Why don't you come back to the mansion with me?
Ew. Won't go.
Why not?
Rosa thought she'd already received Maria's forgiveness, so she hadn't imagined Maria would refuse. But the expression on Maria's face didn't look like that of a child resisting her mother, so Rosa couldn't understand why Maria wanted to stand still pointlessly as the weather grew even worse. Maria answered that question. It's Beatrice. She'll be here really soon, so I'm waiting.
Maria?
Rosa struggled to find words for a moment, then fell silent. They'd only just managed to make up after all. She chose her words carefully, trying to get Maria to come with her to the mansion without denying the witch outright.
Beatrice is coming?
Ooh!
Really? And instead of waiting here, why don't we wait in the mansion? If you stay in this wind too long, you'll catch a cold.
She'll come! Beatrice will come! And when she does, I'll give her candy. I'll do trick or treat. I'll give her a jack-o'-lantern marshmallow candy and say, Happy Halloween! Ooh! Maria pulled yet another sweet out of her handbag, moaning ooh. Rosa was bewildered and didn't know what to do as Maria started being difficult again. At that time, there was a sudden blast of thunder. It was probably a sign. a sign that this island had been sealed off by the storm, detached from common sense and reality. So after this moment, all common sense would probably cease to apply.
That's right.
Probably.
Probably.
The wind blew even stronger, and amidst that blizzard of scattered rose petals, a figure appeared, leaving Rosa unable to imagine that this was a scene from reality. It was probably definitely fantastical. After that, that shadow of a person was... Oh, costume change!
Costume change.
She's got a schoolgirl outfit on.
Let's go.
Hold on, give it a second. Beatrice!
Oh.
Golden Snare! Yes! Ah! There she is.
Oh, goodness me.
Oh, that bust. Perfect.
And as the classic super short skirt.
Yeah, it's great. Anyway, Beatrice! Maria dashed over to the shadow. Normally, Rosa would scold her daughter if she dashed over to someone whom she hadn't seen before and didn't know, but Rosa forgot to do that, was unable to do anything but stand there stunned. It's been quite some time. Have you been well? Ooh, I've been well. Witches don't catch colds. Ooh. Indeed, a witch can use curses to make people catch colds, but how foolish would it be if she caught one herself? From now on, you should take care not to catch something like a cold yourself. She patted Maria's head as she said this, smiling roguishly. Rosa couldn't have known the name of the woman who was happily spoiling Maria. However, Maria had called it out in the beginning when the woman appeared, so even though Rosa had never met her, even though the woman still hadn't introduced herself, Rosa was able to know her name. However, that name held a special meaning on Rokkenjima and in the Yoshimiya family. There's no way something that stupid could be... Beatrice! Happy Halloween! Look at what we bought! I'll give you one too, Beatrice! Ooh! Indeed, Happy Halloween! Oh, is this for me? How truly adorable that a candy will be made out of this! The lonely light of a man lost in the darkness of purgatory, unable to go to heaven or hell! Right now on this island, it has been cut off from both from the world of humans and the world of non-humans. There may be no more suitable sweet. Maria, what's wrong with that one? The witch noticed the sweet Maria was grasping. It was Maria's candy, which had been stomped on by Rosa until it reached this pitiful state. Ew, got stepped on and smashed. Can you fix it, Beato?
Oh shit, nicknames!
Nicknames, Beato. Maria didn't go so far as to say that it was her mother who'd stepped on it. However, for some reason, when the witch saw that candy, she looked at Rosa and grinned. A chill went down Rosa's spine as this gaze was staring straight through her. It shall be easy. Give it to me. Ooh! Maria held the candy out gleefully. Rosa could do nothing but watch, stunned. How did this person plan to trick Maria, somehow undoing the fact that the candy had been pitifully trampled? Maria looked as though she believed it could be fixed good as new. Without real magic, there was no way such a thing could be possible. My, it is quite crushed, isn't it? Huh. Come, Maria. Close your eyes and try to remember. Because it really was that wonderful a candy. The candy of your memories is always full and fluffy, so you try to remember it as well. What kind of candy was it really? Along with those strange words, spoken as though singing an improvised folk song, the witch threw the sweet into the air. Maria was closing her eyes and remembering, just as the witch had told her to, what shape that crushed candy really had. Therefore, only Rosa saw that scene. That sweet that had been thrown into the air burst into a gold color. No, that wasn't it. Those were golden butterflies. It scattered into several golden butterflies, and they began to gather at the witch's hand, which is held up to the sky. And as she did this, unbelievably, it returned to its beautiful original form, no different from when it had been bought. Only Rosa and the witch witnessed that scene. Unable to comprehend what was occurring right before her eyes, Rosa stood with her mouth hanging open, completely forgetting to shut it. You may now open your eyes. Take it. With this, your sweet has returned to normal. Ew!
Let's...
Yeah? We want to check?
No, it hasn't changed her outfit in the...
Nah.
Okay, so just...
Yeah?
Oh, also there's a cane. I didn't notice that before.
There's also a cane, yes. A wonderful little cane that she has
very
to walk with.
interesting.
He's looking good.
So...
You have questions?
I don't have questions. I think I've kind of figured out what's going on here.
You have?
So, this is the turn of the witch, right?
Yes.
So this is Beatrice in the Tea Party reality, explaining to Battler how everything happened.
Okay. Think so?
According to the fact that magic is real.
Sure.
and all of the inconsistencies with the original story to try unravel what's the truth and what's not.
You think so?
That's the impression I'm getting.
Okay, sure. I can either confirm or deny that. I like that theory, though. It's a good way of thinking of it. If you want to try and deny magic, you just say it, isn't real or whatever. Ooh.
Ooh.
Beatrice is always incredible.
Dots.
Yeah. There was a stark contrast between Rosa's shock and Maria's innocent joy. Was that what the witch was laughing at? A smile floated to Beatrice's face, one different from the smile she'd shown Maria. Does my face seem familiar? If you stare so fixedly, you might burn a hole through it.
I'm sorry.
Those words triggered something very clearly in Rosa's mind. Rosa knew this face. She knew it from the portrait of the witch. But no, wait, could this mystery woman really be... Maria, I give you this in exchange for the sweet you gave me. Ooh? A letter? The witch pulled a Western envelope from her pocket and gave it to Maria. However, when Maria made to open it, the witch stopped her. You must not. The time will soon come for you to open it, but until then you absolutely must not. Take good care of it. That will be your invitation to the Golden Land. The Golden Land! So you'll finally take me there! Take it and treat it with care. You must not show it to anyone. Ooh, I'll keep that promise. You've always got to keep promises with witches. And this is for you.
Me?
She probably hadn't imagined that the witch would speak to her, too. Rosa was bewildered by the second Western envelope which was thrust before her. She'd seen this type of envelope before. There could be no mistake. It was one of Kinzo's special envelopes, used when he wrote with his own hand and bearing the Oshirimiya family crest. It was sealed with red sealing wax, and furthermore, it had a mark that seemed to have been made by the head's ring. In other words, even without asking what was inside this letter, Rosa knew that this woman, whom Maria called Beatrice, was trusted enough to be placed in charge of a personal letter of the current Oshirimiya head. It could have been any of the 4 siblings. However, the fact that I have met you here probably means that you were chosen by Kinzo's roulette. So take it. Then read its contents aloud while seated at the dinner table when all of the siblings are gathered.
What did you say?
Rosa looked back and forth several times between the witch's face and the envelope that had been handed to her. Today was the family conference and the biggest object of discussion would be the inheritance problem. So she had joined together with Ava and Rudolph, and they planned to force a certain condition on Kraus to try and extort several hundred million yen in cash out of him. It was as if the witch could see through all of that. What does she intend to announce when all of her siblings are gathered? And with a personal envelope that no one but the Oshirimiya head can use? Maria, the weather is getting worse. Return to the guest house and wait for lunchtime. And Rosa, we will meet again later. Allow me to introduce myself again at that time. The witch turned her back to her, laughing. Then she began to head towards the mansion with an air of composure. Maria energetically called out and watched her go, then began to dash towards the guest house, leaving Rosa behind, as though she wanted to inform the other cousins of her fortunate meeting with the witch as soon as she could. At last, Rosa was left alone in the rose garden as the winds grew stronger, unable to do anything but pray that what had happened was just a daydream.
So we got 2 letters instead of 1. Rose has got the one to read to the family.
The cousins didn't show up either.
Yeah.
It was just the 3 of them now. When the witch... Oh, this is great. When the witch reached the entrance hall, Genji could be seen there. Genji welcomed the guests approaching from the entrance hall with a respectful bow. I have been waiting, Beatrice-sama.
Was that a sister?
Yep, that was a tip. Let's go. Or a character, probably. Ah, there she is. Beatrice, the mysterious visitor and 19th person who appeared on the day of the family conference. She goes by the same name as the Golden Witch who gave the gold to Kinzo. Her reasons for visiting are unknown. She was ushered into the VIP room, which no one has been allowed to use in the past.
Also bearing what seems to be the family crest.
Yeah, little tattoo there.
Is that more apparent in the new one? Yeah, you can definitely see that it looks like the same symbol in the new one.
Just above her stockings there.
It's fucking stockings.
It's great. This is Beatrice. What did you expect? She's very over the top. Oh dear.
Wait, so who else has?
Yeah, some of the other characters do have tattoos. Ava has one on her arm.
Wait, but this one looks like it has 2.
It is a bit different. You can see, yeah.
It basically looks like it's a double folded version. So this is the 2-winged eagle.
Yeah, maybe. It is a bit different.
But you can't see the other, like, wing over here, but if we... Wait, where's it better?
Shannon's probably, well, I mean, that's not really a great look. Ava has it on her arm, which you can see fairly clearly, and of course, Genji on his coat.
Yeah. That's the first costume change we've actually seen in Tips, though.
It's interesting, yeah. We're not dealing with the regular witch, we're dealing with the schoolgirl witch, I guess. It's a bit weird.
And it just mysteriously cuts off here.
That's, just put it back to original, please. Oh my god. We don't, actually, do we have that problem? No, we're good. Her foot just kind of goes below the borderline there. Cool. I have been waiting, Beatrice Summer. It's been quite some time, Genji. You've gotten old. No matter how old it becomes, furniture carries out its work like furniture until the very end. I remember how that man's wife used to be jealous of you. Is Kinzo doing well? He is doing extremely well. The witch probably laughed because she knew Kinzo's own doctor had announced that Kinzo didn't have long to live. However, if anyone actually looked at Kinzo and noticed his vigor, which wasn't at all what you'd expect from someone nearing the end of his life, they might easily call that doing extremely well. Maybe that's what the witch was laughing at. Then let us go and greet him. I look forward to hurling curses at each other after 30 years. Damn, that's a time frame for how long it's been since she's seen him. That's interesting. As the witch grinned, she started walking, leaving Genji behind. Her gait was like that of a family member who knew the inside of the mansion well. Genji followed her in the manner of one who served her. At that time, Kairi came out of the parlor. She'd probably gone out to fix her makeup or something.
That did actually happen, didn't it?
I think it did, yeah. And when she saw Genji following a witch, she was surprised, although her expression did not change. I guess for Kinzo had arrived, despite him being almost dead, on the day of the family conference when the fate of the inheritance was to be decided. And furthermore, this person was familiar enough that with the Oshimiya family household that Genji was following behind her. Kairi immediately realized that this person she had never met before was deeply important. Kairi and the witch's eyes met. Realizing that it would be rude to pretend not to notice, she greeted the witch. It's a pleasure to meet you. You are Rudolph's second wife, yes? Correct. This is Kairi-sama, Rudo-sama's current wife. From this exchange, Kairi realized that this was a guest of fairly high rank, even amidst the Oshimiya family. And the fact that this was a guest on that level, coupled with her resemblance to the portrait in the entrance hall, made Kairi's eyes instantly open wide. There it is. There it is up close. And it's changed! Ha ha! Look at that.
That's new.
A striking resemblance, no? Pleased to meet you. I'm Kairi. I wonder if this is our first meeting. If we have met before, I apologize for forgetting your name. So you intend to force me to state my name, even though you already have a vague idea of the answer. Kairi thought she'd given a sociable and humble greeting. Her expression grew slightly cloudy at that openly oppressive response. At any rate, this didn't seem to be a person she could grow to like. But if Kairi's guesses were correct, this witch probably held a vital key to what her own husband was most interested in. Something that couldn't help but influence tonight's family conference. So without shooting back a retort, Kairi silently watched her go up the stairs to the second floor, with Genji following behind.
Of course, Kairi was the one that was pretty adamant that there were only 18 people.
Yep. It's interesting that the criticism that Kairi had of the last episode has been immediately blown away at the start of the second episode.
What's this?
That she was like, oh, there's no 19th person, and now there just is. Beatrice is just here. That's interesting. So when someone tapped her shoulder from behind, she was so surprised she almost choked. It was nutsy. Kairi-san.
Portrait's back.
Why are you standing still in a place like this? Are you not feeling well? I'm sorry. I was just fascinated by the portrait of the witch for a bit. Oh, you mean the Golden Witch, Beatrice. The one whose gold was supposedly necessary for the revived Ushio family we see today.
Thank you for your exposition, Natsui.
As he's very knowledgeable. Quite a fantastical story, just one might expect from father. Natsui spoke in a perfectly ordinary way.
Ordinary expositional way.
Definitely. It was the sort of comment you'd expect from someone convinced that the thought of a witch existing was ridiculous, no more than another of Kinzo's ramblings. However, for some reason, that point of view didn't seem quite right to Kairi now. Just a moment ago, she herself had seen the Golden Witch come in from the entrance hall and climb up the stairs, so Natsu's words made it feel as though someone was trying to deny the existence of that person, or else make it seem like she was never there to begin with. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm getting a bit of a headache. I think I'll rest for a little while. Oh, is that so? Then I have some good headache medicine. I'll get it for you. She's so helpful. Natsu, best girl.
I don't remember when in the actual original story Kairi left to go do makeup or whatever.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure it happened, right?
I feel like it happened before before Rosa went to sleep. So I think that Rosa in this version went out a little bit earlier, which would make sense because if Beatrice did show up in the last one, then it would have been before Rosa came out in the last one. If that makes sense. So because she went out a bit earlier, she ran straight into Beatrice, and Beatrice had the extra envelope.
Yeah.
The hallway in front of Kinzo's study was filled with the scent of sweet poison peculiar to that green liquor, which we've confirmed is absinthe, I think.
We didn't confirm it in the story. We spent a long time discussing the fact it is probably absinthe.
And the green fairy, yes. Genji,
Yes.
who was completely used to it, did not grimace, and the Golden Witch didn't grimace either. How long has he been in there since last he left? I believe it has already been several years.
But wait, we just had a scene where he was out in the garden with Cannon.
Well, we don't know exactly when that was, right? I don't know.
It was framed by the trip for George and Shannon, which would mean it'd be in the last year.
I don't know. Maybe sneaking out. He's known to go for
That
walks.
is true.
That's the thing that Kinzo's known for doing. Is he that desperate
But
to...
you think Genji would know that then? Like even
eventually. He is the head servant. You'd think
Yeah.
he would. Is he that desperate to turn me into a bird in a cage? How pitiful. By now you're the bird in a cage. You're the ghost of this study, are you not? How pitiful that he's unable to recognize even that. Until he meets you again, he will probably continue his research, even after literally becoming a ghost. Is it love or madness or a delusion? And yet, perhaps even those can form magical power when strong enough. You sad magician. The witch grasped the doorknob to the study. When she did that, there was a sound like that of flesh burning and splitting open. It was the sound of the doorknob literally burning the witch's hand. Beatrice-sama, what is this? A ward against magic!
I have to see that
Such
face
a
in the
great
new
face. I love it. She's so shocked. She's so like, shit!
one. That's so good.
Is that person unable to get by without relying on something like this? I have heard that this door would cause you great pain, Beatrice-sama. Shall I open it? No, it is fine. If he wins, I'll be bird in a cage for all eternity. If he loses, only the life of a laughingstock will be left. The life of a pitiful magician who went mad with love and lost everything. Already, Kinzo and even I are nothing more than pieces laid out on the game board. All that is left is for the roulette to decide who wins and who loses. Until the roulette shows itself, there is no need for me and Kinzo to meet again. The witch looked at her hand, which was beginning to heal bit by bit, even though it had been horribly burned. Well, perhaps that is why he has this ward here in the first place. Yes, perhaps even that is honorable in its own way. By now, everything sits on top of Kinzo's game board. I like it, Kinzo. Allow me to enjoy my game with you. Allow me to enjoy the failure of the final gamble, of the old magician who fell in love with me and threw away his entire life.
Back at it with the glass.
Yeah, I love it. Oh, clock's turning. And then it was 1 p.m. Lunchtime!
Lunchtime.